Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this top 10 cheap team of the season beasts that all come under that 40k price bracket, so they're super affordable and really overpowered. Now, we've done tons of these videos over the course of this year and over the course of FIFA 17, ranging from informs, man of the matches, and we've also taken a look at those FUT birthday cards, and you guys have always really supported these videos. You've been fantastic in the comments, leaving tons of likes, so if you could do all of that again, I would be super grateful, and I'm sure all of you guys would. So any cheap beast for the team of the season that you think I've missed, you think that both me and everyone else watching should know about, leave all of that in the comments below. And also, if you are watching, go check the comment section out, see if you can spot any good suggestions that you think might be useful to you, and hopefully if you do enjoy the suggestions that I put forward, you can leave a like, hit the subscribe if you are new to the channel, because that would really help me out. So we're going to kick off with my first suggestion, which may be an interesting choice to some, and it is Dario Benedetto with his team of the season 88 rated card, and it is a ridiculous card. I'm not going to lie, this card is unreal. 87 pace, 90 shooting, 86 dribbling, 87 physicality. This guy is so good in front of goal, he is ridiculous. And he is just a very good player that, while the league isn't as good and maybe a bit more tougher to fit him into squads, yes, that is true, but the Argentinian link should prove no issue at all, because there's so many good Argentinian players dotted around all of the top major leagues. So with the right formation and the right players in around him, as I did, you will have no issue getting him in, and once he's in your team, he will deliver tons and tons of goals, I have no question at all. He's also really cheap, and for an 88 rated striker with good pace, good dribbling, good physicality, and really good shooting, you will not go wrong with this card. I have no issues at all. Now we're going to move on to maybe a similar sort of striker in terms of how the league isn't necessarily the best, but it's a striker that you all have told me about time and time again, both with his second in form, I think it was, which was ridiculous. I used that, I loved that one, I recommended that one, and this one is exactly the same. He is so good, especially for the price. His price has dropped now. He comes in at about 40k, so he is at the limit, whereas other players you can get for maybe much less within this lineup. But this guy is well worth spending all of that 40,000 on, because he's got 92 pace, 89 dribbling, 94 shooting, and 82 physicality on the base card stats, and he is ridiculous. So quick, lightning quick. Very good with the ball, both with dribbling and with shooting. When he gets an opportunity, whether it's inside or outside the box, he's probably going to finish, because he is that damn good. He's also got that bit of physicality to hold players off, which is always nice as well. So overall, a really good striker that, again, maybe the league isn't the best, but with that English nation, you will have no issues at all fitting him in. There's tons of good English players out, whether they're informed special cards or just normal ones. You will be able to put loads of players around him, and once he's in your team, as with Benedetto, you will have no trouble scoring and winning games, because he is just that OP. So we're going to move on now, and we're going to put in the first player who isn't actually a striker in this video. So there are a few different positions, and this is the first one, although obviously you are going to play him in a much more attacking way, and that is Bruma. Now, his team of the season came out with the most consistent, so he was out initially, the first team of the season's out, so his price has taken a battering, and it also came out again when he was in the Turkish league. So there's tons of good players to put around him from that league, and also that Portuguese nation is super strong, with tons of good players to put around him from that as well, which is always good. 98 pace is just unreal. There are some cards that have good pace and feel okay, but they will get caught by some of the quicker sort of fullbacks and centre-backs. This guy leaves them for dead. He is that fast. It is unreal. And then you throw in the amazing dribbling, his decent shooting, he scores lots of goals. He is a top player to use, and if you can fit him in, it's as good as having Ronaldo, minus the shooting, but in a dribbling sense and pace sense, it's up there. He is that good. And his shooting actually feels better than 82. He's very clinical, and he will create a load of chances, so that even if he does miss the odd one or two, He's probably created 3 or 4 in the whole game and will tuck away 1 or 2, no question at all. So we're going to move on next and put in another interesting pick, I would say, because many will just focus on the more attacking players. But Jonjo Shelvey was an absolute godsend for my team. Now, I picked him to play around Gayle so I could do and get footage for the Gayle sort of when I put him into this lineup. And then when I used Jonjo Shelvey, I was like, wow, this guy has got to make the lineup too, because he was just ridiculous in every sense of the man. Because he was just ridiculous in every sense of the word. He was so damn good at everything. Now, his stats obviously are well-rounded and the card is really good in that respect. But nothing necessarily jumped out of being, oh my god, maybe apart from his passing, but nothing really like stood out and like, oh my god, this guy is unreal in this area. But when I played him, he made tons of tackles, tons of interceptions, always putting himself about, and then when he did win the ball, he had that range of passing to play in others, to get loads of assists, and he also made really, really good runs where he was always making sort of late runs, bursting in, getting himself in, and then when he was in front of goal, he was tucking them away with no issues at all. Very, very good player in front of goal, and just in that midfield, doing a bit of everything. Very good all-rounder, whether you play him at CDM, central midfield or cam. You are getting one hell of a player that you can definitely link in with some very good other English players, just like Dwight Gayle, who I would recommend as well. So now we are going to move on, and we are going to put in another winger and another Portuguese player in, there he is, Medeiros. So there we go, he's in now. 88 rated, 89 pace, 92 dribbling and 88 shooting and 90 passing. I mean, this card is unreal. So good. How is no one using this card? He is so cheap, very overpowered. He's got the pace, the dribbling, the shooting and the passing. His physicality is a little bit, you know, iffy, and he can get shoved off the ball, but when he gets the ball, it is so hard to catch him because he's got such an array of skills and abilities to get past people. So it makes him a really effective winger, and then when he does get himself in, which he undoubtedly will, he scores because he's got ridiculous shooting. I mean, there's tons of strikers that won't have 88 shooting, and that is what this guy has, making him one hell of a player to use and one that I would really recommend. So now we're going to put in another player from Portugal, because there are absolutely tons, which also makes this really good for using a lot of these players because they're all cheap and they're all super overpowered, and that is Danilo Pereira. Again, in a similar way to Jonjo Shelvey, he can do a bit of everything, but where he really does stand out is in those more defensive roles, because he's got 90 defense, 93 physicality. He bullies people off the ball. He is so good. Whether he even has to make a tackle or not, he gets his body in front. He uses that incredible strength, and he's also got that amazing range of tackling that if he needs to, he can just win the ball back with absolute ease. And when he does, he's got really good dribbling. He's got decent range of passing, and he's actually a lot better in front of goal than the card gives him credit for. 70 shooting doesn't seem amazing, but in front of goal, I found him pretty damn useful, and he was able to rack up a few goals, but where he really will come into his own is definitely in those defensive areas. For me, a top choice, one that if you can get him in, 89 rating, very good. So now we're going to move on to our next player in this lineup, and we're going to go and put in another player that you guys have highly recommended to me with his inform cards before, and that is Scott Sinclair. Now, I've still got his 84 rated card because that was ridiculous at striker, but this 89 rated one at left wing or left midfield, left forward, wherever you want to play him, is also just as good. 95 pace, he is ridiculously quick. He's also got immense dribbling at 92, and his shooting at 93 is up there. I mean, that is beating Benedetto, who is a striker and amazing. So he is better than a lot of team of the season strikers with 93 shooting. I mean, this card is the English Ronaldo, no question at all. Those stats are Ronaldo-esque, you know, and for a cheap team of the season that you can pick up and easily link in with a lot of British players that are very good. I mean, I've given you 3 suggestions so far already, I mean, what more can you guys want? This card has to be used. So cheap, so overpowered. I can't recommend. This guy, out of all of them, is probably one of the best. Him and Gayle are so deadly in front of goal. And what I love about this card is that he's got the pace, the dribbling and the passing, whereby as a winger, he just ticks every single box going. Really recommend him. He's also got 82 physicality, which is fantastic. So overall, an absolute top choice that I would highly recommend. So next up, we're going to put in our next player, and we're going to go to the Bundesliga, and we're going to put this on special. I can't actually pronounce his name, if I'm honest. So I do apologise for that. But I think it's like Guerrerio or something like that. But what a card this is. I mean, Bundesliga, most of these are sort of really good cards, but maybe they don't have the league. This guy has the league and the nation. So you can really get him into tons of teams, because Portuguese and Bundesliga, so many great hybrids, so many great Bundesliga teams you can put this guy in. And what a card you were getting. I mean, he started off as a left back, which is why he has amazing defensive and physicality skills on a very good attacking card that you can play high up the pitch, and that is going to do you a great job no matter where he finds himself. Good pace, amazing dribbling, definitely can pop up with a goal or two, and he's got really good passing. More of a sort of assist sort of winger, if I'm honest. So if you do play with wide wingers and you like to get crosses in, this is your man. You know, he's not necessarily that left forward where you're going to get tons of goals with him, although he will pop up with a goal or two, as I just said. So we're going to move on now, and we're going to put in Gelson Martins. Gelson Martins, with his Team of the Season card, obviously came out in the same Team of the Season most consistent as Bruma did. So his price is really low because lots of people have used him already, and there's other Team of the Season cards out. But people were super hyped about this card too, because 98 pace, 93 dribbling, just as Bruma's got, is ridiculous. Also got the 82 shooting. He is like a carbon copy of Bruma. So if you have both of these cards, you can attack down both wings with absolute ease and with total pinpoint accuracy when you're shooting and when you're dribbling, and with tons of pace too. So great for counter-attacking teams, great for anyone who loves quick players, which I'm sure all of you do. What a card this is. Great in front of goal, great for creating chances, and just a top pick that I would highly recommend. So we're going to finish off now with a player you may have seen when I was looking for Guerrerio, or please tell me how I pronounce that in the comments below, because I have no idea. I just know that he's a top player and a top card. So it is Fabián. So there he is, Marco Fabián. This card is something special. Very good all-rounder, maybe not the best offensively, but he's got that physicality to his game where he can definitely win the ball. So even if he is playing in like a central midfield role like I had him, he will chip in with some good tackles, especially standing tackles, and just using his physicality and pace to win the ball back. So he's good at that, but where he really excels is going forward. 90 dribbling, 90 shooting. I mean, 90 shooting. You should probably have this guy at cam, central forward, you know, something like that, because he is just ridiculous. Then you add in the 88 pace, creating chances for himself and for others. This guy is ridiculously good. Such a great card to use, as is all of the cards within this video. So I hope you found some really good tips that maybe you might think about using. Let me know if you do. Let me know if I've missed anyone out, because I'll be super interested to hear what you guys think. And if you could hit that like button, hit the subscribe, I would really, really appreciate it. And peace.